Hey there, it's Victoria, or as you got to know me, Mama V. I wanted to let you know that I'm doing a very special service these days, which is called Mama V On Demand. So, this is where if you have a special story that you would like for me to read to you, or if you need maybe a special message of encouragement, please let me know and I will get that recorded especially for you. Now, I'll need a grown up to get in touch with me, and I'll need you to email me at victoriapellegrino.ca and let me know exactly what kind of story or what kind of message your special listener would like to hear. That's all I've got. Let's get into our story of the day. Welcome to Storytime with Mama V. I'm your host, Victoria, but you can call me Mama V. In this show, we go on storytime adventures where magic exists, where brave knights and courageous princesses come out to play, and where the good always defies evil. Now, get comfy, because storytime is about to begin. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Storytime with Mama V. I'm excited to read to you today, as always. Today on the show, we are reading The Butterfly Who Couldn't Fly. And this book is written by Chantal Steigen, and it is part of the Garden series. We do have another book of Chantal's on the show, which is called The Snail Who Lost Its Slime, and I will link to that episode in the show notes description for you to have a listen to as well. But for now, let's get into The Butterfly Who Couldn't Fly. Here we go. This book is dedicated to children with physical difference and mobility impairment. There once was a caterpillar, green and small. Apart from eating, he did nothing at all. He found a great bush and ate his way through. It was quite astounding how quickly he grew. He'd been eating for weeks. Now was the time. Ready for change, he started to climb. He wriggled along to the end of a stick, about to perform a great magic trick. He hung upside down and made a cocoon, excited about what was happening soon. It wouldn't take long, about 14 days. His body would change in so many ways. He emerged as butterfly and spread his wings wide, but one wing felt different. He looked to the side. He stared bewildered. His mouth agape. Something was wrong, but it wasn't the shape. Both of his wings were colorful and gorgeous, but one wing was small and the other enormous. Butterfly was baffled. He didn't know why. One thing was clear. His wings wouldn't fly. He watched a few butterflies soaring up high, while a beautiful monarch fluttered by. He was so disappointed and wondered mainly why his wings had grown so strangely. He dropped down from the twig and stood on a rock. He needed some time to adjust to the shock. Life would be hard, unable to fly. He let himself wallow and be sad and cry. I can't fly. Shortly thereafter, a worm came along, happy and smiling and singing a song. Worm asked with concern, "Are you feeling okay?" Butterfly sobbed, "I can't fly this way." Worm said, I see. Yes, that must be tough. Let yourself cry till you think it's enough. I'll be back tomorrow. We'll think up a plan. There's much more to you than just your wingspan. Worm returned the next day with a nice ladybug. She greeted Butterfly with a warm, friendly hug. "Oh, come here, dear. First things first, let me see those wings. They sure are beautiful, wondrous things." Ladybug suggested, "Let's dry those eyes and start off gently with some exercise. Up, down, push up, pull up, push up, pull up." She made some moves for Butterfly to try. He'd do anything if it meant he could fly. He trained and he strained. He tried his best, but then he was tired, and needed a rest. There was no improvement. There was no change. Butterfly didn't want to be strange. Worm said, "At least you gave it a try. You can still move about without needing to fly." Ladybug winked at Worm and got herself ready, then lifted up Butterfly, slow, smooth, and steady. At first, Butterfly was shocked by the height. Whoa, that is really high up. This was his first time experiencing flight. He was thrilled by the feeling, so high and so free. It felt so amazing. He shouted, "Yippee!" For Ladybug's kindness, he was truly glad. But when they landed, he again felt sad, for he knew that he would never do it alone. He felt deflated and let out a groan. "You can't fly," Worm said, "but life doesn't stop. You can still walk around and flutter and hop." Ladybug said, "Friends will help you out. There are so many ways to be moving about." Worm helped Butterfly meet many more creatures, all of whom had their own special features. Dragonfly was kind and offered assistance. With his large size, they could travel great distance. Dragonfly flew him over to beds full of flowers, when he gathered up pollen for hours and hours. Dragonfly returned at the end of the day. This arrangement was great. He was feeling okay. Wherever he went, many creatures would stare. A few laughed, "Ha ha 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 ha," or pointed to see something rare. Most were polite, "Hello, Butterfly," but some still gaped or gasped. Usually, a lot of questions were asked. He got past his sadness and moved around well, using his feet to taste, an antenna to smell. He got to know Ant, as nice as the rest. They would meet some mornings outside of Ant's nest. Ant was courageous and a little bit older. She offered him rides up high on her shoulder. "Come here, dearie, let's go for a nice fly." Ant was strong and took Butterfly around, a dear caring friend that Butterfly had found. Sometimes it's hard to feel different or weak, but there's something amazing in being unique. Be proud of yourself and all you can do. It's so very important to love being you. This brings us to the end of our story. It is the tale of a butterfly with wings big and small, whose difference would not be a hindrance at all. Well, thank you so much for listening in today. Please share this story with someone else who might need a reminder that just because their wings might be a different size, that doesn't mean they can't do other things, and to always be proud of who you are and what you can do. I always love reading these books to you. Thanks again for listening in. Bye for now.